Welcome to the podcast. Today we are talking about the inequalities of the black society in present and past day America.
And what we can do to change it.
In recent times and in the past, the members of the black community have faced many hardships and discrimination.
Around the 1950s, Martin Luther King Jr. had started to act against segregation and racism in America.
He and many others soon joined to the fight for the end of segregation and racism.
But no matter how hard they tried, there are still many people who are racist and mean-spirited towards the black community.
However, in the 1950s, 70s, there was a lot of change towards stopping racism across the country. Malcolm X, who was a minister and human rights activist, helped with the efforts.
Both of these men led peaceful protests, yet some people want to take a different approach.
There was also a group called the Black Panthers in the 1960s to 70s that used peace and powerful voices to stand up against white people. However, this group became slightly more and more violent over time.
There have been multiple groups and people trying to fight against discrimination towards black people in recent times. Even more are standing up.
For the past 3 years, many people, not only black, have been standing up to racists, policemen, and stereotypes.
There's a group that started in 2016 called the Black Lives Matter protest, and they are fighting for equality.
Black Lives Matter was created by 3 African American women, Alicia Garza, Opal Tometi, and Patrice Coolers.
Yet some groups believed in violent protests, including riots. This got an image out there, but it was the wrong message.
Rather than cause violence, we can use our voice to make our opinions known.
It may seem like our voice is too small or insignificant, but together we can cause change.
By making our voice heard and coming together, our voice can be louder than the prejudice that stands against us.
Some question why people have prejudice against the African American community.
But the real question is, how can we help?
I believe we can contribute to this protest by joining in support groups and standing up against the main problem, prejudice.
Prejudice is a preconceived opinion that is not based on reason or actual experience.
Prejudice is one of the main reasons black people are treated unfairly.
We can stop prejudice by showing racists that people are just the same as equal to them, but in a peaceful way.
It is always better to be peaceful when responding to violence, because if you feed into the violence, it only causes more anger, problems, and more violence.
Another idea is to address the Black Lives Matter protests, because in recent times they're becoming more impatient and violent.
There are definitely reasons to be mad since police are more brutal towards black people, and there are lots of people who are against this movement.
However, it is important to not address the violence and hate, but only bring back peace in attempts to make a protest with as little violence as possible.
Another thing you could start doing is to completely ignore the prejudice and racism. It's like a bully. If you take away its power, it has nothing left.
It's the same thing with racism. If you don't listen to what they say and you never care, they can't affect you and they will eventually stop.
If you just use peace and ignore the haters, you'll have less problems and more success in the long run. And if everyone starts doing this, the world will be a much better place.
There you have it, folks. Racism and prejudice is just like a bully. If you keep giving it power, it is like a large boulder blocking your path. But if you ignore it, you can walk right through that obstacle. Hope to see you next time. I believe we can contribute.
Just my noise,
Okay.
just my noise. Okay.